today. From SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's a special Halloween presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Justin Herbert and the LtJustice taking on Daniel Jones and the New York Giants.
From the future home of Super Bowl 56, there's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Los Angeles Chargers. Alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken in the end zone, and he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10. At about the 32. First carry for Nick Chubb. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
He's brought down.
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 1 rushing touchdown, yes, but look at the rushing yards. He was up near 200.
The one phrase I'd use to describe that performance, he carved up that defense.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. A give. This is Chubb. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
On first down, it's Herbert. This one caught on the 6. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
1st and goal from the 3. Herbert now. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep, and this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Giants got it, and the ball's held. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Brian Burns able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Herbert now on second down. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown. Henry Ruggs with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Giants nothing. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. But a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Number 26, Saquon Barkley.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
To throw on 3rd down, Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. And linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
So here are the Chargers to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. And they have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 23-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Herbert. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. He brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And now it's 2nd down.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now Jones throwing again on 2nd and 10. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Giants on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have an excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there, only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 23 yards the pickup there. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Henry Ruggs with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove, they're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
New York set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. It's caught. Shepard. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Jones now on 1st and 10. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate.
At their own 24-yard.
The attention shifts back to Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. You see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here. It's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
3rd and 11, and some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. That pass was heavily defended on 3rd down, but you know what? He's one of the best in the league at body control, and he showed you why there.
So what that tells you is that the guy throwing the football understands his guys, doesn't he? Give them a chance, put it up there, and realize that even in a battle, they're more than likely to come down with the football.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll give it to Chubb, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
First and 10.
You're always worried about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 41-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
41-yard line.
So from Charger territory now, here's a first and 10 at the 41. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
On the carry. The tackle by Brian Burns.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Complete to Saquon.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 16. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Andrew Billings busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this is Shepard on the catch. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. From the gun, Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Made at the 25-yard line. The Chargers take over.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's in his zone. Second quarter already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Back to the air. Herbert on second down. They'll find Metcalf. 24-yard line. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Out of the gun, Herbert looking for the end zone. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Let's go. A 24-yard touchdown. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. But the focus shifts back to Daniel Jones and company. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Ross Blackmon able to record his 5th sack of the season. A long ways to go here on second down. So we are at halftime here on Halloween as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This one might be going the other way. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
On the ground, it's Chubb. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Chubb running right. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up
yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
Brandon, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
And that'll increase their lead to 28. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He's at the 30, 10, and way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Carrier.
The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll try the air now with Herbert. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And nearly picked off. Surprising Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And a heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled. So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guy's jersey clean throughout the game.
On second down, Barkley. Inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On second down now, Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a giant jumped early. So that'll back him up 5.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now Jones will get this out to Barkley complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, and then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
They're on the 18-yard line.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive,
he's got him in, complete. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 36 yards.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
His
interception.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones, his throw incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
They run. Chubb. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
3rd quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's his 2nd and 10. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give. This is Chubb. There he goes again. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Nick Chubb, 34 yards. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak,
at maximum.
On. You can't give the guy a skirt steak.
That's true. Filet. 10 ounce. 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine.
Justin Tucker set to
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Catch made by Slayton.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Jones. Jones got hit and lost it. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. A give running right is Chubb. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Chubb, the ball carrier.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
26-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 9.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A 3-yard touchdown run. And this offense continues to pour it on. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense, because you can hand it to him, as we've seen. But just had 3 rushing touchdowns, and of course throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
New York ready to go again offensively. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what are you, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Jones throwing again. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Barkley.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Jones. That's complete to Slayton. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And he goes down the line before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Pickup of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some...
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And his kick is right through. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. And I don't know that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because... maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Here's second and a yard.
At the 1-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25.
And New York set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Chargers, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles